Hello mortals, I am the booktube goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. I wanted to check out the Newberry Medal winner for 2021, which was How to Trap a Tiger by Tae Keller. The Newberry Medal is awarded to children's books by the American Library Association, and you can check out my video here. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Anyway, I recognize the cover of How to Trap a Tiger from Shelf It or Shove It, where I passed on it, thinking it was too young for me. Because if I read a children's book, I look for upper middle grade, and this one seemed it may be a little younger. Even after reading the blurb on the back of the book, I was hesitant to pick it up because it was described as a story bringing Korean folklore to life, a tale about a magical tiger. So I was like, really? Maybe this is not one of those middle grade books that an adult could like. Okay, I picked it up anyway, and I was not expecting to read what I read. The book made me cry. It made me cry. Damn it! This is my favorite middle grade book of the year, and it will take a lot to knock it off that position. The story is told in the first person from the point of view of Lily, who is a mixed-race young girl of Korean descent. Her mother moves her and her older sister, Sam, from California to a small town in Washington state without telling them why. They move in with her Halmoni, which is Korean for grandmother. Now Lily is an imaginative little girl who is extremely shy to the point where she wonders if she has the power of invisibility. Now, one critique I do have is that I wasn't quite sure of Lily's age until several chapters in, when I found out she was going to enter 7th grade, so that is 12, 13 years old. Honestly, I thought she was younger. Her sister Sam is obviously high school age, as she at least has a learner's driving permit. Anyway, on the car trip to Washington State during a rainstorm, Lily thinks she sees a tiger in the middle of the road, but her mother and sister don't see it. So, not really knowing much about what I was reading, and the more I read, I realized this was a magical realism story. Now, what is magical realism? It is a writing style that was developed in Latin America. Think Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude, House of the Spirits, that type of thing. Now, in magical realism, the setting is usually contemporary, but there is both a material and a spiritual world, and the veil between the two can get fuzzy just a little bit. There's usually a mystic theme, but it's intertwined with themes firmly grounded in reality. So while there is magic in magical realism, there are no fireballs or vampires or magic powers. It's much more subtle than that. And it can be really deep if it's done right, and it is done right here. So we learn that Lily's Halmoni, her grandmother, has told Korean fairy tales to her and her sister when they were younger, and they stuck in Lily's mind. And this is the frame in which the story takes place. But the story itself is a character-driven story about Lily's development and growth. Her relationship with her sister is really complicated. There's obviously some sibling love there, but Sam, who is now a teenager, is putting away those childish toys and all of that. Sam is also not very sympathetic to Lily's shyness, telling her not to be a QAG or quiet Asian girl, which kind of hit me close to home because I was a quiet Asian boy. And yes, Lily's character also navigates her perceived invisibility. Lily's relationship with her mother is also very interesting, as we see that the mother is not dealing with things well at all. She hides things from her daughters, doesn't know how to communicate her feelings. She's shut down, but also is self-aware that she's shut down and has to come to terms with her own relationship with her mother, who is Lily's Helmani. So this brings us to the Helmani, grandma. She comes across as some sort of Korean Auntie Mame. She likes to dress up, she wears sparkly clothes, and as an added bonus, she is the town's herbalist who is treated like an eccentric healer and of course has a reputation as a witch to the town's children. But she is the most fascinating of all. She was born in Korea, and she has a tragic past that we find out through reading, notably moving to America in search of her mother, who abandoned their family when she was young. Now, if you think this is an exploration of mother-daughter relationships, you would be correct. If you think this explores sibling relationships, you would also be correct. And if you think this is a mystic coming-of-age story, why yes, that is also correct. It fires on all cylinders. I give this book my blessing. In fact, my guess is that adults may enjoy this more than middle grade readers that it's marketed to. Oh, and it also won the Asian Pacific American Award for Children's Literature. Check it out! And until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.